everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of FBP Live. I'm Chantal, host of the Fitness Business Podcast, and I've got a question for you guys to get us started off today. Do you ever find that when you're doing a task that it takes way longer than it actually should? Give me a thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. A task might be something like writing PT programs. It might be, staff reports, class plans. It might be writing blogs for your website, anything at all. Does anyone find that sometimes those tasks just take way too long? Well, today, what we're going to talk about today is a solution to that problem, because I know it's an issue that I always used to deal with, and I discovered a system that has helped me out a huge amount. So guys, once again, welcome along to FBP Live. I'm really excited about today's show, so let's get cracking straight into it. Now, first things first, I want to set the scene for you, because as you guys know, every single week I edit a new podcast. As a matter of fact, for the last 4 weeks, it's been 2 shows a week, so it's been full on for the last 4 weeks. But every single week I have to script the show, I have to edit the show, do the interviews, do the transcription. So all in all, it's a pretty full on, huge process. And I got to tell you, it's a job that probably when I'm doing the editing side of things, maybe should take a couple of hours. And time again, I was finding that it was taking me about, 4 hours, like double the time that it should actually take for me to be doing one show. And it used to frustrate me incredibly. And so basically, the reason that it was taking me so long, and I'm sure that everyone will be able to relate to this, is because I was constantly being interrupted with notifications coming up on the phone, with emails going off, whatever the case may be. There was constant interruptions the entire time. Well, about probably 6 to 8 months ago, I was listening to the Amy Porterfield podcast, which is called Online Marketing Made Easy. If you guys haven't checked it out, I definitely recommend it. And there was this system that she talked about in the podcast, and as soon as I implemented that system into my day-to-day business, it changed everything as far as efficiency goes. And I just want to say good morning, guys. Thank you for tuning in. So good to see you guys here. I'm still learning Facebook Live, so here we go. Okay, so this system that I learned from Amy Porterfield, I now share this everywhere I go, in all the presentations that I do, because it actually changed so much about the way that I was working. It made me so much more efficient in doing day-to-day tasks and getting stuff done for the show. So I want to share it with you guys, because I think that you will also find that it helps you out and helps you achieve more in everything you do. So here it is. The system is called Tiger Time. And the reason it's called Tiger Time is because you are setting a time in your schedule, in your calendar, that you need to be fiercely protective of. How great is that? So it's a time that you actually set aside to accomplish a particular task, and you follow 5 steps that keeps you on track, and I'm going to take you through those 5 steps. But that time you protect, you do not let interruptions come in, and when you do that, it helps you actually get stuff done faster. So let me take you through the 5 steps, and I hope that you can get a whole lot of use out of this. Okay, so step number 1, I'm reading it to make sure I don't miss anything. Step number 1 is to define the outcome. So essentially that's just saying, okay, what is it that you're trying to achieve in that set specific period of time? So for me, for example, it might be getting one show edited. For you, it might be writing a PT program, might be writing a blog, it might be writing a staff review. So define what it is that you want to achieve and be specific about it. Step number 2 is to make the commitment. So basically that to me means that you are non-negotiable on that task that you want to achieve. It means that you are willing to actually set that time aside and not be interrupted, and be very strict with that ritual. Step number 3 is to set the time. So how long should it actually take for you to accomplish a particular task? So I was giving you the example before about me with the podcast. Sometimes it was taking me 4 hours to do something that I should have done in 2. So you should have a rough idea of how long it should actually take you to accomplish a particular task, especially if it's something that you're doing every single week. So set that time and be specific with that time. Step number 3 is what I think is the most important, and that is decide on your rituals. And by that, it's things like switching off the notifications on your social media accounts. It's things like blocking out the time, so actually physically putting an appointment in your diary, which, by the way, I name Tiger Time because it just mentally helps me know that that's the time that I've got to do it. It's things like saying to your colleagues or to your team or to the people that are around you that during this set time, during your target time, you cannot be interrupted. You don't want them knocking on the door, you don't want them calling you, whatever the case may be. It is setting a ritual and sticking to it. So switch off the notifications. Don't be interrupted. Switch off your emails as well so you're not getting ping messages, because that's the things that blow the time out as far as actually accomplishing the task that you want to achieve. So once you've set those rituals, the last step, step 5, is keeping it sacred. And that is really about that no interruptions. It's about just committing to yourself and making sure, as I said, everyone around you knows that that is the time that you're working on that particular task. And I promise you that if you follow all of those 5 steps, you will find that you get things done so much faster. You're much more efficient with what you're achieving. Your head will be a lot clearer to actually work on other things because you will have done that task without interruptions. So I hope that you find that that little ritual, that Tiger Time ritual, is something that you can give it a go. As I said to you, I have taught this to so many people now over the last 6 months or so, and they've had great effectiveness with it. It's super simple, but as I said, block that time out in your diary, name it Tiger Time, and you'll find that you will actually be a lot more efficient and effective with the tasks that you're doing. So if you found that useful, guys, give me a thumbs up, or even put the little Tiger Mjoy down the bottom in the comments there. Whether you're watching this live or you're watching it on record, guys, I hope you find that useful. Now, I also wanted to jump on this morning and tell you all about our Women in Fitness Month, which is coming up next month in September. It's not far away. Now, if you've been listening to the show for a long time, you will know that traditionally we've had 4 women in our Women in Fitness Month. Traditionally it's been in December. Well, we decided to bring the whole month forward up to September, and we don't have 1, we don't have 2, we don't have 4 women. We've got 7 women in fitness who are coming onto the show, and I want to give you a kind of quick little preview of some of the speakers that are coming your way. Number 1, Shannon Fable, and I interviewed Shannon last week, and she was beyond phenomenal. I think probably if you follow the podcast page, you will have seen that I straight away jumped on and wrote a quick message because I was just so impressed by her interview. But to give you a bit of an idea, so Shannon is a fitness industry business consultant, and during that interview she shares, amongst many other things, about how you can move from a group fitness instructor role into a fitness manager or into a club manager role. So we cover off a lot of topics, but that's one of the things that we talk about. Tomorrow, which I'm really excited about, I'm going to interview Terry Hawkins. So Terry is the founder of People in Progress Global, and she's coming on really interesting to talk about her 4-step process to reprogramming behaviors that we don't want. So that's going to be a really interesting one. We've also got the incredible Amanda Vogel coming back on the show. Amanda has been with us twice already before, and she is so knowledgeable when it comes to social media. She's actually an expert health and fitness writer, editor, and she provides a lot of social media support for the fitness industry. She's coming on to talk about how to make money on your own blog and also by guest blogging on other people's or other companies' blogs. So that should be really interesting as well. We've also got the awesome Carrie Keppel, who's the club manager at Les Mills New Zealand, and she's an IHRSA board member. And Carrie's coming on and sharing tips for progressing through an organisation into a management role. Now, that's just a couple of the speakers. I've also also got, let's have a look, Lindsay Rainwater's coming on, Kristen Green is coming on, Jessica Matthews, and Jennifer Glucko. So you got to hold on to your hats, guys, because September is going to be an absolutely huge month. So give me a big thumbs up if you like the sound of those guests that are coming your way in September. Okay, how are we tracking? I've got couple more little bits and pieces for you guys today. So a quick reminder about the shows that have just passed in case you've missed any of them. First of all, 116 was Daniel Neary, and he talked about 11 books that fitness business entrepreneurs must read but probably haven't. And I've got to tell you that Daniel was the one that introduced me to what is now, I think, my all-time favorite book, which is Key Person of Influence by Daniel Priestley. So Daniel, thank you so much for introducing me to that book, because it is life-changing. 117 was one of our retention shows with Paul Brown, and don't forget that we're out now into week 4. This is our final week of the retention intensive series with Paul Brown. And 118 was, of course, Bedros Keuilian, and he talked about marketing, leadership, team building. So much gold in that particular episode, and amazing feedback from you guys about Bedros's interview. So thank you so much. So really quickly, if you missed any of those shows, what I want you to do is in the comments below, type 116 for Daniel Neary, type 117 for Paul Brown on retention, or 118 for Bedros Keuilian. So one more time. So if you missed any of those shows, in the comments below, it's 116 for Daniel Neary, 117 for Paul Brown on retention, and 118 for Bedros Keuilian, and I will send you through a direct link for those shows. Now, two last things very, very quickly. First of all, 116, which is the show that I just mentioned, Daniel Neary, and we talked about 11 books that you need to read. Well, Daniel has actually written a book himself. This is it right here, called FitBiz. And it's called FitBiz 7 Secrets, or try that again, Secrets of a 7-Figure Gym. Now, Daniel has very, very kindly given us 10 copies of the book to give away, which is sensational. So thank you so much, Daniel, for that. So, in order to win a copy of FitBiz, what you need to do is this. Number 1, post on Facebook why someone should listen to the Fitness Business Podcast. So you just need to post it on Facebook, share the show, and make sure that you tag Fitness Business Podcast. That's number 1. Number 2, just include a link to the website in that post as well, which is fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. So it is nice and easy. Hey, Carrie, I just did a shout out about your show. Thanks for tuning in this morning. Just telling everyone about your upcoming interview in our Women in Fitness Month. So it's great to see you on the line. So guys, if you want to win a copy of Daniel's book, make sure you follow those 2 steps. So number 1, tell someone why they should listen to the show, tag Fitness Business Podcast, and put a link to the website in the show notes. Just by doing that, we will pop you in the draw to win a copy, and we're going to announce the winner on Saturday the 26th of August. It is that simple. So last but not least, I just wanted to tell you that this week, this Wednesday, our special guest is JT from Active Management, and he is sharing a wealth of tips of how to start your very first live video streaming. Quite appropriate, I think. So make sure you tune in this Wednesday when that show comes out. Speaking of JT, he's just come on the line. Hey JT, I was just doing a plug for your show coming up this week. So make sure you join us Wednesday this week. JT and I are going to chat all about how you can get up and running with your very first live video streaming. And he's got a very special offer for listeners of the Fitness Business Podcast, but you have to wait right to the end of the show to hear what that offer is. So guys, that is it. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed that Tiger Time ritual, don't forget, give me a thumbs up or put a little Tiger MJoy down in the comments for me below. If you want to check out any of those previous shows, put the show number down there that we went through a few times. And also do not forget, Women in Fitness Month is coming up in September, and we have that amazing lineup of guests. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 2 of FBP Live. I'm Chantal, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks' time, same time, same place. Have a great week up ahead.